I mean, we're 80s babies, so that's what you did back in
That's how you
those
solved
days.
your problems. You fought.
You
There's
had to
no.
fight.
I remember we were duking it out in there. It was fists, headlocks, like trying to kill each other. And our sister Teresa was like trying to get in.
We're back again with some twin
We are
tales.
back.
The twin tales. Yeah, so let's jump into it. What are we talking about today? I think today we're answering a question about it was a pretty vague question, right? Like I think it said something like twins fighting. Like tell us
Yeah.
about twins fighting and if you guys ever fought and if there's anything with that. So I mean that's a twofold if you ask me. Like are you asking if we fight have we fought each other or have we been in fights together? The answer is yes to
Yeah.
both of
All of
those
the above.
for sure. I mean, we're 80s babies, so that's what you did back
That's
in
how you
those
solved
days.
your problems. You fought.
You
There's
had to
no.
fight.
You didn't talk it out. You
And there
didn't.
was no weapons. It was just knuckle up. I remember street fighting with boxing gloves in the driveway. Like I don't even know how. Probably like six, seven. Dad gave us gloves, and the whole neighborhood came over.
Probably, yeah. It's probably like 5 or 6 is when we started with the gloves for sure.
Yeah,
Those are
but
good times though. You can't
that
do
was
those now.
that. I know.
Nowadays, kids like, it.
It's not like there was headgear or mouthpieces or nothing. It was just throw these gloves that have Velcro on the side on. Velcro 'em as tight as you can and just start throwing in things.
That's right. And you just go till somebody gives up, or mom
Yeah.
and dad stop it. Because
Or somebody started crying. Yeah, somebody started
sometimes
crying.
the fights went on while people were still crying. So
Yeah, I remember that. So I guess I mean that's part of it right there. But we could start with the fighting each other first.
yeah,
I
let's
think
do
that's
that.
what people want to know, and I know that question. I think it was directed to have y'all fought each other. I'm gonna throw something out there. It doesn't mean anything, so don't take it anyway. But he's 5 minutes older than me, like just five. That doesn't mean
You mean
anything.
whole 5 whole minutes?
5 whole minutes. That means I'm 5 minutes younger
That
than him.
means I'm your big brother. Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't say big, but you are my older brother for sure. So I was younger and more agile and more, quick on my feet. But anyway, so I'll let you kick it off. What do you got for me and you fighting? And don't start lying, Jay. Do not start lying on this podcast.
Well, to be honest, when until we got to probably middle school, we basically were the same size. We were both two little scrawny kids. Like I wasn't bigger than you weren't bigger than me. I didn't have more muscle than you like I do now, but like before we were pretty much even. So I feel like back then our fights were just they come down to a stalemate because neither one of us could beat each other. Now, what it came down to, who was more mad? What was the situation? Who was pissed off enough that they just take it too far? Because I remember our fights starting off as like in each other's faces, like back in the 80s, you get like this close and you're like, well, do something. Will you do something? Will you do, and that's how they started off. And then they'd go into like pushing and shoving. And then we go to blows. And like we wouldn't punch in the face unless we were super mad. And then it was like that's how you knew, oh, Q's really pissed now. He's aiming for my face. Like that's kind of how I remember the early year fights going.
You would remember it that way. And I mean, you hit it on the money. It was who was madder. But you were known for having a temper. Like you would get mad very quickly. And what I remember is slapboxing. That was the thing back then. Everybody
Yeah, slap
slapboxed at school,
boxing.
middle school,
Everybody slap
elementary
boxing.
school. And we would like at home be like, all right, let's slapbox in. You think you're tough, let's slapbox. And we'd be slapboxing and I get a couple good licks in and you would get pissed. And next thing you know, I get jawed with a closed fist. And I'm
Because
like,
you're slap
why are you
boxing.
punching? Why are you punching? And then it was like fights on.
Yeah,
And now
because
we're
your
just
slap boxing went from it's supposed to be like a tap, and you would try to smack the shit out of me, and then
it's
yeah,
slap boxing, fool. There's no
no,
limit
there's
to
not.
how hard you can hit.
This isn't slapping
Uh,
competition that's on TV where you're trying to lay the person out. It's supposed to be just like quick taps.
but you can admit that you had a temper.
I admit that I used to get mad when you tap me too hard.
Okay,
Yes.
so the scenario you gave of like you would get mad and then all of a sudden punch, like you were talking about yourself.
Okay, yes, I used to get mad, but you did too. I wasn't the only one. Maybe I was a little bit more than you. Maybe my temper's a little bit quicker than yours, but it used to happen the same way with you. You'd get mad or we'd be wrestling and you'd get pissed off because you couldn't get out of a move that I had you in and you would start freaking trying to punch and kick and bite and
Okay,
shit.
that was high school, and you did high school wrestling, and you would try to come home and try to do the moves on me. Let me practice
I
this
didn't
move.
try. I did them.
I wasn't a wrestler. I didn't want to wrestle you. And at that point, high school, you were bigger than me. You probably outweighed me by at least 10, 15 pounds, at least.
Barely 10, 15 pounds. Yes. I wrestled 125 in high school. So I
Okay,
was
so
little.
let's think of this. Do we remember any specific fights between us? Do you remember any specific fights? Like we were kind of in general saying this generally happens, but let's be specific here.
I remember the boxing matches, which didn't, I don't know if we classify those as fights, but I do remember a boxing match that I punched you in your forehead and it pissed you off.
I was four. Okay.
You were like, I want to say like 8. I think we were like 8 because we were in California.
I remember Dad was telling me, "Quit putting your head down. Quit putting your head down." And I kept swinging with my head down. And yeah, you got me right in my forehead one
I
time.
remember that, and you got pissed.
I know the fight was over. I think Dad broke it up.
Yeah, because you just went crazy, and it wasn't a boxing match anymore. It was UFC.
I was crying, but like mad crying, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I wanted to rip your head
See,
off.
there's another example of you losing your temper.
Another? That was the first example.
Um, yeah, that's from like early years off the top of my head. Um, that one. I remember a bunch of fights from like middle school, high school era that we used to get into it in the house. Um,
I
then
I remember one. I remember high school actually is the first time mom and dad left us alone at the house. Teresa and Laura were gone, and they left us alone. They went out of town for the weekend or something, and we were horse playing. I wouldn't say fighting yet. We were horse playing, and it got out of control. And I think we like rolled down the stairs horse playing, and we put a hole in the wall, like a two
the
foot hole in the
drywall.
wall, in the
Yeah.
drywall. Yep, at the bottom of the stairs.
Yep.
And
I
then
remember.
immediately we were no longer fighting each other. Now we're in panic mode. How do we
We're
repair the
we're in
house?
contractor
We're
mode.
in- and we're like trying to figure out how do we patch this hole before our parents get home. We don't know nothing about no drywall work, but we're gonna figure it out.
We patched it. We patched it.
We patched it.
I mean, they
It
knew we
wasn't
did.
pretty. And dad walked in the house and said, "What happened to the wall?" Like it stood out right away. But we spent hours, I felt like, trying to fix that hole. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
But that was a good one. I think it was a foot or something that went through the wall. Probably your foot or something, but I don't know.
I remember a fight in the bathroom. Same house, upstairs. We were in the bathroom. I think we got into it outside of the bathroom, and I don't remember if it was you or me. One of us ran into the bathroom to try to like get away or whatever, and the other one broke in. And I remember we were duking it out in there. It was fists, headlocks, like trying to kill each other. And I remember our sister Teresa was like trying to get in. And she's like, boys, stop, boys, stop. And she ended up calling mom on the phone and telling her the boys are in the bathroom killing each other. And she was crying all scared because we were like so serious about it. Um, and then I remember you were crying and I
I
won.
was not. I remember you had a bloody nose or something. That for sure happened.
Yeah, I
Yeah, but
remember
I
that
think
fight though. That was brutal.
for the most part, we were on the same team about stuff. Did we fight? Sure, we're brothers, so we're gonna
I
fight.
think yeah, any brothers fought. We fought. We were twins, but I think we probably still fought the same as
Normal.
brothers would.
Yeah, I agree. And I think part of that is like we weren't that different, like you said. So it wasn't like there was like a big brother and a little brother that the
Yeah,
big brother beat up
picking
or nothing.
on. Yeah,
Yeah, there's none of that. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about
fights
fights we've been
together.
in together. Yeah. Which
Well, right
definitely,
off the bat, I will just say I remember. I think Dad told us, and from the very get go, there's no such thing as a fair fight.
well, yeah.
And that's always stuck with me in the back of my head. Like if somebody is trying to hurt you, there's no such thing as a fair fight. You protect yourself and you hurt them before they hurt you. Um, the whole concept of like you and me jumping somebody or 2-on-1, that
That's the
always
thing.
flew over my head because I'm like, no, I'm not starting fights. I'm not picking fights. If this guy's trying to come hurt me, then yeah, me and my brother are gonna take care of you together. Like you're the one wanting this. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not pushing it on you. So, I never had the concept of when we fought it when you fought, I felt like, yeah, we're both fighting. Period.
Yeah.
Like you're
No
gonna fight my
matter if
brother,
you
you're
wanted
fighting me
to or
too.
didn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah. Whether he's wrong or right. If he's wrong and he deserved to get beat up, too bad. I'm still fighting. Like we're both fighting
Yeah.
together.
Well, I learned that lesson the hard way. I think you said it like dad instilled that in us, but I had to learn that one the hard way. If you remember in elementary school, you were going to get in a fight with Tony.
Oh, Tony with the beard.
Tony Tony was the same age as us, but had a voice that was like this deep and a
This
beard.
this was
Dude had
third
a beard
grade.
and he's in third.
This is third grade. So his
Tony was a
beard
grown
was a
man.
mole.
He had
He
a
had a
hairy mole.
mole and a head, and the mole grew hair, so it looked like a beard.
Everybody was scared of Tony. And I remember, was this because of the balloon?
No, this was
No, it was
just Tony
different.
just wanted to fight me at the end of the fence
Yeah, I remember. Okay, so
at the corner.
Tony had a homeboy with him. Can't remember his name either. And I found out at school, like, oh, your brother's getting in a fight after school. And I was like, oh, shoot, now we got to fight. So we go out there and we're by the fence. And I think by the
Teresa
time
was with us. Teresa
Teresa
was
was
with us.
there too. Yeah.
Yep, our sister was with us.
Tony walked up, started talking trash, saying he's going to fight. Like, you're going to fight him. And you didn't back down. So it was like, okay, you're going to fight. And I think Tony turned around, looked at me, and was like, you're not going to get in. You're not going to get involved. And I was like, no, I'm not. I sat back and
You were probably like, Jay's good. Like I'm not worried about it.
Tony was scary. Fool. I was
I
scared of
kicked Tony's
Tony.
ass.
That's
I
what I'm
kicked his
telling you right now. I was
ass.
scared of Tony.
I
And
wasn't. I wasn't scared of
Tony
Tony.
wore your butt out. I remember
No.
that.
Okay. Well, the story on that is I punched Tony about 5 times in the face. I was kicking his ass, and Teresa got scared and came and grabbed me and pulled me off of him and put me in a freaking full Nelson
She
because she
pulled you
was.
like this and was holding both your arms back, and Tony was like,
Tony came in brr, 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 and wore my ass out. That's where I got beat up. Came home, nose bleeding, lip bleeding, eye all swollen.
yeah.
That
And
was
then that's when I got beat up. That's when
both
Teresa
of you.
told Dad that
You
I
and
didn't help.
Teresa both got whoopings.
Did Teresa get a whooping too?
Teresa got a whooping too.
Oh shoot.
Because I told her, Dad was like, I was still crying, and Dad goes, "What the hell happened to you?" Or what happened or something. I was like, I got in a fight with Tony. Teresa was holding me, and he
Well, that's
punched
why
me in my
Teresa got beat.
face.
Yeah, because she got
Yeah.
involved. He's like, you could have got hurt, and then
And he's
I
like,
got
"Where was
beat
your
because
brother?" I was like, "He was right there."
he was like, yeah. So I learned the hard way, but I think I overcompensated that through all the other fights after that. Like, I mean,
There were some
even
fights
Teresa
you
says
probably
now that
didn't
like,
need to.
yeah, now I just hit first. The dude looked at you a little bit silly, and I just stuck him. I remember a few of those, but
I
that was a
re-
very early age. So I think
yeah.
later on, I remember. Let's see, I remember the high school fight at Saguaro
Well,
when
before we go that one, let's go middle school. Do you remember Jason at in middle school?
is this the kick?
Yes, this is the kick heard around the
The
world.
kick heard round.
See, this
Yeah.
is a perfect example of you probably didn't need to do that.
Hey, I was on the other side of school and it was like recess time or lunchtime and someone said, Q, your brother's fighting over there in the field. And I was like, "Doo, doo, 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 doo," just sprinting, thinking I gotta go save Jay. And from what I remember, you were squared up. You weren't even, you were still a few
No,
feet away from him.
no, you're mixing up the story. That's not the right one. I
That's
wasn't
not
in
the
the
right
field.
one?
No, this Jason was he said he's gonna fight me after school in the front of the school. In the front of the school had those bricks where like people would sit and wait for the bus. So after school, I get there and I think somebody did tell you that your brother's about to fight or whatever. Well, we
This
fought.
is at Hohokam.
Yeah. Me and Jason fought in the front, like boom, 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 mixed it up. Like, I kicked his ass, of course, but he, but the monitors came. One monitor, and the assistant principal, Saint Armand. He was the assistant principal, and they grabbed us. Well, he grabbed me first, and Jason got a couple hits in after he grabbed me, and so then the monitor grabbed him. So we were separated. The monitor was actually holding him with his
His
arms
arms
back,
back.
and you just came flying in from I don't know
I
where the hell
jumped
you
off the
were,
brick. I jumped off
jumped
that brick
on
wall.
on the brick, off the brick, and drop kicked both feet into his chest while the monitor was holding him.
That was the eighth grade. That was the eighth
That was
grade,
eighth grade.
and I was the class president.
Yeah,
And
student
I
council president.
remember because we didn't
That
get in
that
trouble.
was epic though. That was like a WWF kick. Like you had the form that you had was solid. Like your feet were
That was
completely
10 out of 10.
horizontal.
10 out of 10. Hey, I had practice with the drop kick though. That's why. The field was a drop kick too. The field was elementary and the same thing happened and someone said you were fighting. I don't know what is with me with drop kicks. Like you ask me to drop kick somebody now, I'm gonna pull both hammies and every muscle in my back. But
That was
the field was a
Todd.
drop kick.
The first one was Todd in the field, third
I
grade.
don't remember. I didn't remember his name. I just remember what it looked like when I double drop kicked him in the chest.
Well, the crazy thing is the one in middle school with Jason, you drop kicked him, um, and then I I got loose from Saint Armand and we took off running. And we were running down the street towards home. And our sister Laura came and picked us up and got in her little Ford Escort. And she's like, what happened? We're like, we just got in a fight. And she's like, with who? We're like, Jason back there. And she freaking turns the car around, drives it back towards the school to go find that kid so that we can finish fighting.
Yep, I remember that.
That was nuts.
Laura was crazy. That's why.
Yeah, she's definitely a fighter.
Well, the high school one, Saguaro High School. I'm just gonna throw their names right out there. I remember it was
So Tucson Swirl, not Phoenix Swirl. That one's more popular.
Tucson Saguaro. That's right. We were seniors, and it was like a week before graduation, and it was called like sports day or water day, sports day, something,
Yeah.
where you can bring water guns and there was water balloons and everybody got wet. And I remember I was out in the field and I had these stupid headphones, no goggles. I had these goggles. I thought it was like
It's like ski
fabulous. I thought
goggles.
it was fabulous for sure.
Hey, those were hot back in the
They were
day. Like
hot back then. Those were like straight.
you had to have them kind of on the side
Yeah, I
though.
had them like cockeyed to the side. They were like yellow. Yeah, I had these goggles on. I'm out there running around with a water gun, and I sprayed like a group of girls at like a baseball field. Well, one of the girls was the girlfriend of Mr. Teen Arizona.
Yeah, he was
Also the
the
middle linebacker for the football team.
team captain, middle linebacker,
Yeah,
Mr.
this
Teen,
fool. I just
Arizona.
yeah. And I didn't know that, but I sprayed his girlfriend. She went and told him. So then him and like half the football team decided to like walk up to me, and he's like, "You got my girlfriend wet." And I'm like, "It's sports day, water day. Like, yeah, everybody's wet." And he's like cussing and, I knew it was fight time for sure. It was
Yep.
fight time.
Yep.
And I wasn't scared because we were already fighting people by then, a lot of people by then. So we start boxing. And I think it was going good at first. He was swinging and missing. I was swinging and missing. And
That's not
you,
good, by the way.
well, it's good compared to what happened, I think. He wasn't connecting. And if the dude connect, I probably would have been laid out. But next year, no, like I swung hard, missed hard, and he had like turned me backwards and lifted me up and was choking the shit out of me backwards.
Yep, I
And
remember
I'm
that.
choking, and I feel like my feet are probably this high off the ground as
They
he's just
were.
sitting there choking me. They were.
They were.
And then all of a sudden, he just let me go, and I landed on my feet, and I turn around, and he's like laid out on the floor, and you're standing there like breathing hard because you came running with the Super Bolo hit to the side of the dude's dome. And then it was like the whole football team showed up. And now it's like fights on. And we're like back to back, but trying to just like, we're running and
Moving.
swinging at the same. Yeah, stick and move, stick and move. And they can't connect with us, but they're trying to like grab us. And like, I think the police showed up. Police did show up.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they showed up.
and then we all ended up in the principal's office. We were like vice principal's office, and all of them were in the principal's office. And I remember thinking, like, this is the whole football team. Like, they're not going to expel or suspend the whole football team. Well, no, they didn't. They suspended us for 3 days and said, we're suspending you because we're worried that this is going to escalate for the last week of school. So we're going to suspend you for 3 days, and then if anything happens between now and graduation,
You
you
don't
can't
walk.
you can't walk. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That was bullcrap.
And we're like, what about them? And they're like, don't worry about them. They're not going to do nothing because they're like standing outside the office, like yelling and pointing at us through the window. And then, so they suspend us. Mom has to show up, and we drove dad's 59 El Camino to school that day. And we go out to the parking lot, and the freaking windshield's busted on the El Camino with a big ass brick in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
mom's like, nope, get back in the office. So we go back into the school, and my mom starts screaming at them, saying, you said this was over. Look at this car, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I remember that. So you
well.
saved my butt. You saved my butt that time. I'll give
Well,
you that.
that was definitely that was some superhero twin shit right there because I was being held by three linemen. I remember when you were fighting because I was like, "You're about to get your ass kicked. We're both going to get our ass kicked by Mr. Teen Arizona." Like, but so when I tried to go back you up, these three linemen grabbed me. So I'm being held by three big dudes while I was fighting. But once you got picked up in the air,
Once I
I
was
got like
choking.
this freaking burst of energy, and that's why I was able to
That
get
twin
loose.
strength. That's that twin
I
strength.
was able to get loose and go hit him upside the head. But yeah, that was crazy. That was an intense fight for sure.
I mean, that's all. Those are all school fights. Do we got any non-school fights?
Well, once we're adults, I don't know if we want to make all
Want
those public. I don't know if we
to
those want to.
we want to say exact details on there?
Yeah, it's been a while though. It's been a while. We're old. We're old men now. We're not trying to fight nobody.
I
Let's
mean,
be
we got
honest.
a fight in Mexico. That one would probably be okay to tell.
Yeah, maybe leave out some of the details. Rocky Point. That was Rocky
Rocky.
Point.
That was
We,
Rocky Point. That's where everybody goes in, at least from Arizona, when they're not 21 yet, and we were not anywhere near 21 yet.
I think we're like
And
19.
yeah, but we're in Rocky Point. T's there with us. Tavares, not our sister T. And we're at the club. You start talking to some chick, and started dancing with her. Well, then her boyfriend got mad, but she was doing it on purpose. Like she was trying to make
She's
her
trying to make him
boyfriend mad.
jealous. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we leave the club. We're walking down the dirt road. If you've been to Rocky Point, there's just dirt roads.
Yeah, we were walking down towards Manny's. So if you know Rocky Point, you know Manny's because it's still there. But we were walking down the hill towards it. It's all built up now. It's probably something else. But yeah. And then I remember there was cars coming up the dirt road, and
Me and T were on the other side of the road. You were on one side, and we were walking on the other side.
yeah, I was on the other side. Well, that dude was coming up behind you. He thought you were me. He was coming up behind you to clock you, and I came running across the street and hit him before he got to you. And then we started rolling around on the ground, punching each other. And then you guys all came and started kicking and stomping and stuff. Is that what you remember?
It was exactly opposite. He was coming at you, and you didn't see him coming, and I ran across the street and hit him.
Okay, that's probably right. It was something like that.
It was exactly that. And then I fell on the ground with him, and we're rolling around, and you guys started kicking the shit out of him. And I just remember telling you guys, stop, 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 because he wasn't moving anymore. And we're like, just get off. So then we get up, take off running, me, you, and T. And we tried to run in like the little desert area, like where the cars weren't at. And now we hear sirens coming. They cut us off at the end of the desert. Cops arrest us, throw us in the back of the cop car, and we go to Mexico jail. That was fun.
That was an experience for sure.
We were only in there for a couple hours, and then all the rest of the homies that came with us bailed us out. I think they spent like $700, and they paid for us to get out of jail.
Yep.
But jail's a different story. That's a whole other experience. I just remember being back to back inside there as well.
Yeah. And for everyone wondering, he stopped moving because he was unconscious. He wasn't dead.
Yeah,
So
he was
just throw that out.
You didn't have to even
Bro,
say
we
that.
just kicked him until he stopped moving. He was knocked
He's
out.
gonna call into the show and be like, "Hey, that was me. Dog."
That was me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think those aren't even all anywhere near the fights. Those are a couple of the fights that involved both of us.
I'm sure additional ones will get brought up in future podcasts on other topics for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely going to have to one day talk about the fights that didn't include both of us. Like one of us was in, and then our response as twins when we found out our other twin was fighting.
Right.
That was always like a big deal. Like, you would fight without me?
You're not allowed to fight without me. Like,
Yeah,
we
never
fight
that.
together. I know we live in different states now, but it's still not fair.
Yeah, exactly. Which has happened a few times. So, all right. I think we answered the question on the twin tails.
All right. Let us know if you guys have any additional questions for twins that we can answer on our future podcasts.
Yeah, just let us know. There's no question that won't go unanswered, as long as it's not X-rated or something like that. That one might not get answered.
Get us in trouble. I'm not
Or
sure.
incriminates us in any way. Sure.
All right.
Signing off.